I could see they had a regular kerosene lantern to light their way. They came in and took me out. There was about a 20-foot boat, motorboat, and Australian and a couple of the Fuzzy was the natives. And they took me back to the boat, I think about a mile or two, not too far. And took me, I think it took us about 3 days to get back and to the home base.
Through the jungle?
Pardon?
3 days through the jungle?
To our camp, our old, where I'd taken off.
Okay.
And,
It was by boat, right?
pardon?
That was by boat?
By boat.
Yeah.
And each night we'd go into the guy knew the Australian knew the territory, so he'd pull into a little harbor and we'd spend the night there. But the mosquitoes were still awful. You couldn't avoid them. Couldn't get away from them. So we pulled into Port Moresby, our home station, just as the Japanese was strafing the airstrip. And this one Japanese Zero came over us, looked us over, cocked up like this, and was looking at us while we put this red cross on the top of the cabin. And he circled about 3 or 4 times, I suppose deciding whether we really was a rescue boat or not, but didn't bother us. And you must remember that a lot of these Japanese were American college boys that were in Japan, and they were pulled in. They didn't want to be there, but thank God for those people, because they weren't too aggressive. But anyway, so I hadn't eaten in a couple of days, pretty hungry. So the Australians they just finished their meal in their mess hall. So I went in and sat down at the table, and 2 or 3 of the Aussies were sitting there having a cigarette after their meal, and I had nothing to eat with. So the guy passed me his knife, fork, and spoon, but first he cleaned it off. And I wasn't a bit fussy, I'll tell you. And it looked like what we always call slum, and tasted pretty good. So the next day the doc bandaged up my head, and I was back flying again. That day I wasn't injured that badly. But that was probably the worst time I had. But the fact that the old man knew that our squadron could perform a fighter sweep and everybody get back home again, it was, I think, I wasn't one of his favorites and he wasn't one of mine, I'll tell you. Colonel Kirby was. He was the finest man I ever met. He just a good leader. Well, this one, he wasn't. He wasn't, and I didn't make any bones about it. So some of the other squatters would have him down for an evening meal or something like that. They were real buddy-buddy. And I didn't try to make any points with him at all.
Were you a captain?
Pardon?
What was your rank?
Major. Major. I was a captain, a squadron commander for about 6 months. And then promotions came out and I made major, but to stay a squadron commander you had to lead your squadron on almost every mission. There had to be a reason if you didn't. So I did a lot of flying, but it was mostly escorting the transports who were bringing supplies to the ground troops. So anyway, one day was like the other. We lost count of days, and you stayed on alert right by your airplane. You had a shack to sit down in with a phone. And if it rang, you got your airplane and took off. War is a dirty thing. You can't stay as clean as you'd like to. Can you imagine being 2 or 3 days without brushing your teeth? Think about it.
Actually.
Think about it. I feel sorry for these guys in Iraq. I don't think they should be there. And I thought you were asleep.
Oh.
I thought I put you asleep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he was listening intently.
I was listening. Listens better with his eyes closed.
I do it less to
Just concentrate.
distract me.
Too much.
The Iraq War's gone on longer than the World War II, hasn't someone said that?
Yes, it does.
You know, the saying in World War II in the Pacific was Golden Gate in 48.
Oh,
We thought
luckily
it
it
would
was
be that long.
a lot shorter than that,
We were
luckily.
there in first time in early 42. I was there about a year, came back,
Thank you.
and in May the next year, Kate and I were married on a Friday evening, and I went back to Westover, the base the next morning, and I couldn't get off. We moved out and we were right back. We left New York City and sailed east, and we thought we were going to be in England. So we sailed east for a day, then we turned south, went through the canal zone, right back in the Pacific, right back to the same port in Brisbane, Australia, that I had been the first tour, and right back to the same area in New Guinea.
So they didn't tell you where you were going?
No, oh no, no.
That way nobody could,
It's been very exciting.
Then we stopped in a place I'd never heard of before, in the Panama Canal. We were there for about 3 or 4 days. We couldn't get off the boat. Hot as a flat iron. You couldn't get off the boat at all because they were doing some work on the plate of the ship. And then it's one of the Society Islands. Oh, what is the place that's so popular?
Baja?
Pardon?
Baja or something?
no, Society Island?
Yeah.
It's off Australia.
Where is it located?
Oh.
What's it near?
Excuse me,
What is it near?
I'm trying to think. A lot of people go there to live because it's such a mild climate. But it's not well known. And a lot of peaks in the island. And we couldn't get off the boat again. And these natives in the bright colored clothing were rowing out with stuff to sell. And what you do, they would show, you point to what you want, because they're looking up at you, and they'll tell you how much it is. So you hang a rope down, they put it on there, tie it on, you bring it up, then you put the money on it, the rope, and it goes down.
What kind of stuff were they selling?
Fancy shells, something like the box that you got,
Oh, like that box?
yeah,
Yeah.
a souvenir type thing. But it was a very colorful thing. They were probably,
Did they take cash or you have to trade?
they took American
Yeah.
cash. And that's why it's Waikiki? No, I don't know. One of the movie actors,
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando,
Papete, was it? P-A-P-E-E-T-E? Pitcairn.
Pitcairn Island?
Pitcairn Island?
I can't think of the name of it now. But the only thing was, there was a mosquito there that caused elephantitis.
Oh,
So I wouldn't care to go there.
no.
Not worth
But
it.
it's very beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
You think Dan has elephantitis?
Hmm?
What is that? No, I just have narcolepsy.
Tahiti.